friends, welcome to today's Big Brother Canada updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Jeff Wallace, and he wants to know, do I think that Tim or Nikki could make it to the Final Four? Absolutely. I think they both have a really good shot at it, believe it or not. You know, going into it, I was like, oh, they're going to be like the first ones out, but I think they have a really good chance. Tim is the most charismatic house guest I think I've maybe ever seen. He's so charming. People are just like, oh my god, Tim's the best. Like, let's keep him around forever. And then Nikki, I feel like people are thinking, this girl is gonna freaking leave on her own. So let's just let her stay until she does. I'm not kidding. That's what it seems like. You know, though, she may very well end up leaving on her own. You never know. But it'll be interesting to watch what happens. But I think they both definitely have a chance of making it to the Final Four. Also, if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. And if you've already contributed, thank you so much. And please leave your house guests of the day questions on the thread that I created on the Patreon feed. Please. Okay, so yesterday, Cassandra was doing everyone's laundry with the help of Joel. It was some sort of special task from Big Brother, but then I think it was one of those like fake out tasks where like the rest of the house guests are actually the ones who have to complete the mission. So the feeds were like really choppy during this whole thing, but this is what it looks like happened. All the other house guests were planning like some sort of prank to pull on Cassandra and Joel while they were doing the laundry. So it sounds like Big Brother was going to try and trick Cassandra and Joel and say that they failed the task, and then they were going to take away 2 clothing items from each house guest and say that it was going to charity. And then all the other house guests were planning like how they were going to react to them losing the task, and they were going to be all like pissed and make Cassandra and Joel feel bad and then be like, just kidding, we won. So the feeds went down after the planning session for more than 3 hours. So we didn't get to see the prank. Surprise, surprise. But it must have been successful because the house guests were rewarded with a pool party. So they got pool toys, lots of delicious food, which the have-nots were allowed to enjoy as well. And they got so much alcohol. It's never enough for these people, though. They got beer, wine, rye, vodka, but everybody wanted the vodka. So things started to get a little insane when the vodka ran out. Apparently Nikki cannot drink the wine and stuff that they are given because it's like, I don't know, she's got like an ulcer or something, I don't know. But she spent time in the diary room begging for the vodka. So when other people drank all of it, she was not happy. And she was really not happy when she was like being blamed for it being gone. She was freaking out. She was like, I've only had 2 shots of the vodka! Are you kidding me right now? So she was really, really pissed. So she was ranting to Tim in the hundo suite, and Tim was like, I'm gonna be honest right now, they're turds. So he was not happy about it either, because like he knows that Nikki really wanted more vodka, and like people were swirling it away from themselves, and it wasn't cool. So Nikki's like, I hate them all, and I'm gonna save that for the puppet show. But she was like, she hates them all, but she does like Phil, Mitch, Joel, and Christine, and obviously Tim, and then she's like, and F the rest. So she really hates the clique of Kelsey, Raul, and Jared. And let me tell you this, she is having a tough time saying Raul. She said roll, she said rule. She was like, and Raul, he took 2 glasses of vodka up to the HOH, and he took it and he pranced down with the second one. It was so ridiculous, but I do believe that, I was gonna say Raul did take extra vodka and like hid it for them to drink later, and that's not cool, man. Don't do that. So Nick and Ramsey kind of lightened up the mood. They performed this rap that they had been working on for all the other house guests, and Phil was keeping the beat while they were rapping. People were going nuts. They did like a couple different verses and everybody was loving it, so that was fun. But then it was time for part 2 of Nikki's freak out. She was still pissed about the vodka. So, especially the Raul thing. So again, she was like explaining what was happening with that whole thing. And then Tim was trying to channel her rage into strategy. So he's like, come on, we need to bring the outsides together. And the outsiders. He wants all of them to band together, go after the clique, get rid of them. He hates cliques too. He doesn't want that. So Nikki's like, yeah, because she wants Raul out like friggin' yesterday. So she's totally down for this. So then, while that's all happening, there was a hot tub truth or dare thing going on. It wasn't quite the makeout party of previous seasons, but there were lap dances. There was the whole, I dare you to go in the hot tub with all of your clothes on. There was pecks on the cheek. And then the feeds died because Big Brother hates us and they don't want us to have fun. So this morning, it was back to business. Lavita, girl, is making some moves. She was campaigning hard. I'm pretty sure she thinks the eviction is tomorrow. It's not, but she thinks it is. So she's trying to get all that campaigning in there today. When is someone going to tell her that evictions are on Thursdays? I mean, really. But she was campaigning to Joel and Mitch in the Have Not Chapel, and she was talking about votes that she may possibly have. She feels that she's got Cassandra, Dallas, and Joel, and you may be like, why'd you say that when you said that she was talking to Joel? She already pretty much has Joel in the bag, but he was there as like moral support as she was campaigning to Mitch. So Mitch seems like kind of down for this, and he thinks that she can probably also get the brothers' vote, and Tim and Nikki can probably be swayed. So he gives her a little advice. Like, he tells her, if you're going to go campaign to Tim, just let him know, like, you're ready to shake things up, and he'll really like that. I think he's right. Just a little side note here. I don't know if she has Dallas's vote or not. I mean, Dallas is saying that he's gonna vote for her to stay to her face, but Dallas is like kind of a douchebag, and also like every chance he gets, Lucy, every chance she's tearing that shit up, every chance Dallas gets, he's like telling everybody how much he hates Lavita, so it's hard to tell what he's really thinking. Speaking of, Dallas was freaking out because he heard Lavita and Joel mention his name, and then when he walked in the room, they stopped talking, and of course Joel is like naturally awkward, so it was like not a good situation. But they explained to him, like, look, we were counting votes, we mentioned your name because you told me you were going to vote for me to stay. Dallas is not convinced. He thinks that they were scheming. He's like, so do you and Joel have something going on? And they're like, no. So they finally convinced him after a while that it's all good. They weren't scheming against him. And he promises again that he's going to vote for Lavita to stay. But who freaking knows? So then Joel and Phil were discussing votes. And you can definitely tell that Phil thinks that he is like all of the brains of the brothers' operation. Like every time he talks strategy with someone, he's like, don't even bother talking to my brother. Just talk to me and I'll tell him what we're going to do. That's kind of sad. But anyway, they were discussing their votes, and they both said they're leaning towards keeping Lavita this week. So, I don't know. But Tim gives Lavita a pep talk today. He's like, girl, if you really want to stay, you need to address why you're up on the block. You're up on the block because of what happened last week when you were HOH. So, like, you need to address that and, like, take care of it. Also, talk to Jared. Because if Jared wants you to stay, then he'll convince Kelsey and Raul to vote for you to stay. So he's telling her, like, be vulnerable, be yourself, blah, blah, blah. So Lavita takes Tim's advice. And she goes and talks to Jared. She gets emotional. She's crying. She's like, I didn't want to put up Kelsey last week. And it was, like, a group decision. And it wasn't all her. So Jared's just like, yeah, I know, okay, whatever, bye. So he, like, acts like it's all cool and stuff, but then he goes and talks to Kelsey about it, and he's like, yeah, I, like, freaking zoned out during that conversation. She was, like, crying and shit, and, like, I had to hug her, like, ugh. So Kelsey is still very much wanting Lavita out at this point, even though everyone's like, I don't know, like, we might keep her. So Phil, Joel, and Mitch were talking, and like I said earlier, they're starting to want Lavita to stay. They're realizing that it's going to be better for their games if she does. They feel pretty safe with her if she were to win HOH again, because they think that she's just going to go after that Kelsey, Raul, Jared trio. So they're like, yeah, maybe we should keep her around. But they do want to warn Jared and Kelsey about this before the vote. I don't know if that's a good idea. I get that they're trying to keep both sides happy, but at the same time, I'm like really worried that if they tell Jared and Kelsey about it, they're gonna flip the vote back and they're gonna like mess it all up. I kind of want Levita to stay just because I feel like it would be funnier. Don't get me wrong, I like Shari, but I want that chaos factor right now. I'm enjoying it. So Jared got the HOH camera today. They were taking their pictures. And then Lucy! At this point, it's looking like Levita could be staying, but there is still another day to campaign, so anything could happen. It seems like Shari is waiting for tomorrow to really, you know, make her rounds and make sure she's got all of her votes, so you never know what could happen. But leave it in the comments. What do you guys think is going to happen? Who do you want to go home? And until tomorrow, much love.